Family, my bad. I gotta make a part two. I didn't try to clip the show off. That was my bad. You know what I'm saying? That was me. You know what I'm saying? I had a little technical difficulties. My bad, family. I had to make a part two because I messed up. But let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and get back into this. This is my part two. My bad. I tried to make it only one part, but I messed up, family. That was me. That was me. My bad. My bad. They were screaming out, "Don't shoot, don't shoot." But why was they house targeted? Lack of outdoor lighting, especially for homes that appear dark and empty. So you got to think about that. I know, brother. I know it's the wintertime, brother. Sister, I know it's the wintertime, and I know they be charging us all kind of money for our light bill and our Edison bill and our P&G bill. I know that, but it is better for you to keep lights up. Lights up. Lights up. You know what I'm saying? I got a street light right by the corner. You know what I'm saying? Everything is lit up. It has to be lit up to where they say, oh, if they see me coming in, people gonna see me. But a deterrent, what did it say again? Lack of outdoor lighting, especially for homes that appear dark and empty. That attracts them into your home like moths to a flame because they don't think nobody home like that. And you see, they are daring because they are willing to climb up on a 2-story window just to go inside of a little tiny window to get inside of that home like that. Just because the first level is secure don't mean the second level is. This guy right here, he needs to put some gates up on that window like that. That's going to prevent them. Soon as they looked up and because they looked at the ground level and they said, damn, okay, he got a gate. Okay, he got a gate. He got bars on the windows, but up there, it's an open window. All I got to do is pry it open. So it's also on us what we use to protect our homes. If he had some bars on that window, it wouldn't be so easy for them to get inside his house like that. Look how easy it took to open that window. Now on this story right here, we gotta be careful who we let come to our homes and live in our homes. You have to be careful, ladies, my sisters out there, and you have to be careful. You just can't let no strange man come to your house and lay down his cowboy hat and kick up his cowboy boots in the damn corner like that. You got to vet a man. You know what I'm saying? This man ain't paying no bills up in that place. Okay, he stayed with old girl. My mind is blown after the fact of what the police told him to do, but this man, he ain't paying no bills up in that place, and he only lived there for a little bit of time. And just by that person being up in there and setting up residency, they got more power than you got in your own damn house, and you paying all the damn bills. So I just want you to watch this small story real quick.
This man says he just wanted to get his belongings from the home of his ex-girlfriend, Catherine Bonner, who goes by Katie. When she would not open the door for police, with body cameras rolling, this is Officer Corey McNeese.
If you can break a window glass, it's cheaper to repair.
And who's going to be liable for that? Who's going to be liable? He's coming on somebody's property, trespassing, and the police is telling him, break the window if you want to go in there and get your stuff.
You can gain entry any way you want, right? You will not be held accountable.
The ex-boyfriend takes a stand.
It's just like I'm not that type of person.
The officer persists.
If you stay away for a certain amount, for any length of time, then we'll consider the fact that you no longer live here. Okay, and you can't come back like 3 weeks from now and say, I live here, and kick the door in.
Bonner's attorney says inside the house, she heard every word. After 23 minutes of trying to get Bonner to respond, the man follows police advice.
Damn, is that an AK-47?
Okay. Now you're in trouble.
I want to know how this woman in trouble. She pulled out that AK fast in a mug, didn't she? You know what I'm saying? He bagged his ass up. You got to have home defense. But what law is she inside of her home? She chilling inside of her home. She hears somebody busting down her window. And then the first thing that she does is point the gun out the window. How is she wrong for that? Somebody's trying to break into her house.
Man, put the gun down! Put it down!
The only reason why I showed that story is I don't understand why she's wrong. You know what I'm saying? Why is she wrong like that? That man don't live there like that. So you could just tell the police, I live here. And then they come up. You be like, hell nah. You got to show me proof. You got to show me proof. Do you got some keys? No, you ain't got no keys. That means your ass don't live there.
Flashlight enters a single mom's house and ends up caught on her security camera. And when she looked at the video, she knew who it was right away. Here's why.
It's terrifying. A man caught on security tape breaking into a home. What made this even more shocking is the identity of the intruder. It was 43-year-old Marie Columna's pastor. There he was in her kitchen, clearly identifiable.
Okay, small story with your brother Jehoshaphat Israel. Okay, they told me at the apartment complex, they said, well, you know, you can't put a door camera on the apartment. But I figured something was fishy, family. Something was fishy when I came home from work. It feels like somebody was in there. You know what I'm saying? So I said, let me get a door camera. They told me, oh, no, Jehoshaphat, you can't have no door camera on your door. That's invasion of privacy. So I told him, I said, okay. Since I feel something is going on, I'm going to set up cameras on the inside. When I set up cameras on the inside, wasn't no more fishy things going on. So that let me know the apartment complex was going into my spot when I wasn't there. They already got keys to everybody's unit. So they would come inside of my unit for God knows what, steal whatever they wanted to steal and just leave. And then they put a clause on me because they said, oh, well, you can't put no door camera. So I got smart on their ass. I put in cameras inside of the apartment. Soon as I told them that, I guess they went over. I never caught nothing on video either. Everything stopped. Whatever my spider senses was going off, and my spider senses was sitting there telling me somebody been up in your spot. Somebody been up in your spot. You got to go on your first mind. When I put them cameras inside of that apartment, I no longer had any senses of anybody coming over inside of my place. You know your spot. You know yourself too. And you know when somebody has been up in your spot like that. When I told them that I would put cameras inside of my apartment, they stopped doing it. So it's good to have cameras inside of on the outside of your house and on the inside of your house too.
You would never think a pastor would do anything bad to anyone.
When you follow God's vision, and it's not just any church, 49-year-old Sergio Guardia was a pastor at a mega church, the 24,000-member Thomas Road Baptist Church in Lynchburg, Virginia. Maria and her husband were very close with the pastor.
So that just tells us right now that anybody could be a criminal just because they go to work, just because they prominent in the community, just because that they look like they okay, don't mean that they ass ain't no damn criminal. This is the pastor, and he still broke up into that woman's home. And we all know what he was going to do up in there. We know what he was going to do. We ain't got to say it. He was stalking that woman. He knew when her husband wasn't going to be home or gone for a trip, a business trip or what have you. And he still brought himself up over there stalking that woman like that. So it's good for us to place up cameras on the inside and on the outside of our residencies. That's 1, that's 2, that's 3, that's 4, that's 5. That's 5 different assailants coming to one house. But why is they breaking in that house for? Because they know something of value is in that house. This what attracts a lot of people to the house. The people in the neighborhood, they seen the people balling. They seen their cars, they seen their chains, they seen their necklaces, they seen their clothes, they seen their shoes, they seen all of that stuff. This right here puts a target over your house. what they see you bringing inside of your home will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people coming in to try to get what's yours. But I also want to place out that you can never expect it only to be one robber. Ever in your head, when if this ever happens to you and you're placed in this situation, you cannot think in your head, oh, there's only one assailant. Oh, there's only one masked person. Oh, there's only one person with a gun. You've seen all of these people. You've seen all of these people coming to that damn house with all that stuff and baseball bats and chains and backpacks and covered up. You've seen all of that stuff, but never expect it to only be one assailant. Never expect that. Now, just because you think that it's safe, however, you set up your house to where you put certain things in, you got to test that. You got to test that because these criminals, they're masterminds and they're very skillful on their skill. It is said if you practice anything for long enough, you're going to become a master of it. And they have mastered that. Now, looking at this window, looking at the brother and looking at that window, there is no way that you can get in there. That's what I would think off of my head. I was wrong. Now, we seen the way in. We all seen it, but we wouldn't think that it would be possible. We seen it. We said to ourselves in our head as we looked at this image of the window with the bars on it, we said to ourselves, oh, that's a little bit of hole. Maybe a teenager can fit in there. Maybe if you squeeze just right, you can fit in there, but I don't think it's possible. We all said that.
Doc, you can miss it well. Doc, they go walking now.
The brother weighs every bit of he weighed every bit of 155 pounds, maybe 150. He stands at 5'7", and he was still able to get up into that little tiny crack. Remember what I said, the brother, he could be 5'5". He could weigh 150 pounds, but it'd be no way in hell you would think that a 155-pound man at 5'5" would be able to squeeze through those cracks like that. So when you set up defenses in your house, you got to think, you got to test that. That's why we say security awareness. All of this is awareness of your environments, but this is a security awareness. If that little piece, if he had that covered up a little bit more with a little bit of metal in there, it wouldn't be no way for that man to be able to get inside that place like that. Security awareness. Face bright as day. Face bright as day. Face bright as day. This is why it's so important to keep secret cameras inside of your home. It is, you know what I'm saying? It is, you know what I'm saying? And it's better to have it than not to have it. Just like I was saying on the previous video, I would rather for you to have security systems all the way around your house and never need it than to need it and not have it. I would rather for you to buy home defense and weaponry than for you not to have it, but then you need it. Cameras inside of your home. All three of them suspects are going to be obtained. They're going to be fouled. They're going to go to prison. They're going to go to jail for what they did, breaking into them homes. But do you think that they knew that that camera was in there? No, they didn't. That is your proof that you need.
Can see you. Can see.
You see, when I heard lock on the house and I didn't flip.
They lock shop. You think say
this will still fall under security awareness, but at the same time, you're going to have to spend some money. You're going to have to spend some money in 2026 if you want to protect yourself and protect your family and make sure that y'all all right and that y'all going to be alive. You're going to have to spend some money. You can't be cheap. That person is cheap. They spent all that money to put all that metal around their house, and the only thing it took for them is to put a janky lock on their window, and then they put the janky lock so then people can get in it? No, they were supposed to buy $100 lock. They were supposed to buy a $70 lock. They were supposed to buy a $50 lock, not some damn lock that you buy at the 99-cent store and put it outside your house, thinking that's gonna keep criminals out.
Shop, they secure. It's not secure. Look when I see him, when I see him, yeah. This I have seen him.
If you gotta buy a security system, that is good. If you put bars around your windows, that is good. If you set up cameras around your house, that is good. If you set up cameras inside of your house, that is good. It's all on awareness. You can never sit up here in 2026 going out to your car thinking that everything is cool like that. You gotta protect yourself coming and going and wherever you might be in the world, because my brothers and my sisters is that they gonna call the police when it's all said and done. They gonna call the police and they gonna tell them what they had to do to protect themselves and what they did to that other person. They ain't gonna be frankly sitting up there and oh, I gotta hurry up and call the police, but the police ain't gonna be there on time like that. So what happens?
In March 2022, a home security camera in San Antonio, Texas, recorded a man knocking on a stranger's door around 4:30 p.m. He quickly fled the scene after hearing a woman scream from inside the house.
You see how retarded criminals are? Do you see how stupid some of them will be? You see how bold they will be. This is the broad daylight. Broad daylight. You go to somebody's house trying to break in their house. That's why I tell women, you got to protect yourselves. Okay, she was able to scream for her life, and that made him leave. But what if she was asleep? What if she was in there and